Hi everybody, this is the Lost Boy with another repair and restoration video, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, feel free to like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell if you'd like to see new videos when they come out. This week we have the Game Boy Pocket, specifically the MGB-001 model, which is styled to look like the original Game Boy. I picked this one up off eBay, and the screen has what seems to be a really common problem with Game Boy Pockets. Somehow the polarizer film over the screen has gotten burned. For someone who didn't know any better, it might look like you need to replace that screen. But actually, all you need to do is remove the thin plastic polarizing film, clean the screen off, and replace it with a new one. So start out by removing 6 screws from the back. 4 are on the outside, 2 are hidden under the battery compartment door. Now the main board's exposed, everything looks very clean. With Game Boy Pocket, there's actually only 3 screws holding down the main board. Remove those 3 and you're good to go. At this point, the main board moves freely, but we need to remove the ribbon cable. If you prefer, it may be actually easier to remove the ribbon cable and the main board first before the buttons, but that's up to you. Now, with the tip of a screwdriver, very carefully lift the 2 tabs on the side of the ribbon cable vertically, which will release the ribbon cable. Now that the main board's removed, all that's left to remove is the screen itself. It can be a little bit difficult because it's held in by some adhesive, but what I recommend is just twisting the front part of the case until you can get one corner high enough to slide something soft and plastic underneath and just very gently pry up all the way around until you can grip it with your hand and just carefully pull it out. There's a small adhesive ring that goes around the screen, and if you're careful, you can actually hang on to that and reuse it later. At first I wanted to avoid using anything metal on the glass because it makes me scared that I'm going to scratch the glass. So as you can see, I tried using my little plastic scraper to lift the corner, and I didn't really have any luck. Seems like a metal razor blade is really the only way to get it started. I recommend using the corner I'm using to avoid getting near any ribbon cables. Once you have one of the corners started, carefully grab it with some tweezers. And I recommend working around the outside. Get all the edges up before going ahead and peeling it the rest of the way off. So now, it doesn't look too bad, but there's a layer of really stubborn adhesive left that we have to get rid of. This takes a long time. And you have to be pretty careful. You definitely want to use something plastic, like the little scraper tool I have. It worked very well. And I'm using 99% isopropyl alcohol as a solvent. This is definitely the longest, most tedious part of this repair. And you really want to be careful not to press too hard and crack the screen or break any of the ribbon cables or anything like that. I was a little bit worried that maybe the back polarizer would be burnt too, but it appears to be fine. At this point, I'm just reassembling very quickly, just to check and test if everything's still working. This also allows me to demonstrate sort of how the polarizer works, so you'll see exactly what it's doing. So here, as you can see, I'm holding the polarizer over the front of the Game Boy Pocket, and I've turned the game on, and you can see when it's turned sideways, it just goes dark. When you orient it properly, you're able to see how the polarizer is affecting the light so that you can actually see the graphics being displayed on the screen. Before this part of the process, you definitely want to make sure you have your screen perfectly clean. The method I'm using here with the tape is one I also use for applying screen protectors on phones or other digital devices. Use tweezers to remove the backing. Take one more opportunity to make sure everything's ultra perfectly clean. Remove the backing and simply flip the polarizer down into place. The tape should line it up perfectly. Now you just remove the tape and pull off the protective front cover, which I for some reason didn't capture on film. You also want to give the inside of the screen lens a little bit of a clean for good measure, and then you can start to reassemble. 3 screws go back in the motherboard. Make sure you're keeping your screws separated. Reinsert the ribbon cable, and just gently, once it's in place, press down on the tabs to keep it in place. And time to test it out. And there it is. Works perfect. Here's a bit of a side-by-side comparison, so you can see the size difference. The screens are slightly different too. The original Game Boy on the right seems to have a little bit more of a yellowish cast, and the Game Boy Pocket on the left seems slightly greener, and possibly might have slightly better contrast. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it does look like it might be a little bit crisper. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed that. It's been a while since I have uploaded. I've had quite a bit of stuff going on. I may address that a little bit in a future video at some point, but for now, I'm just hoping to get the frequency back up a little bit of these videos. Let me know what you think about this repair/refurb in the comments section. And that'll be it for this week's video. If you're still with me, thanks for watching. Your views and support are, of course, greatly appreciated. Always remember your happy thought, and I'll see you next time.